Okay.
All right.
Check, check. Okay, so we're recording on... We're going to do both the GoPro and the Zoom recorder. Because I'm not sure if you recognize this, Nick, but for some reason, my HUD on my truck has never done that. It's black.
And it's not because we sat... Well, you turned it off. You turned the...
No, I turned it off down here because I can't do anything up here now. There was a map there when we first started up.
Yeah.
Now it's just not there. See, it doesn't do anything now.
That's weird. The clock's still there.
The clock is still there.
You know what?
Yeah. This is evidence of So, for everyone who's listening, like I said, we have the GoPro going and we have the Zoom recorder going. We're heading to Snyder Cemetery, which we tried to do for our 100th, right?
It was our 100th episode, but we were kind of late, so it was actually supposedly it was going to be our 102nd episode, I think.
Yeah, I think like we wanted it to be our 100th, but we had like two, I think like interviews. Like there was like legit episodes that came before it that were like, but we're not going to hold off on these.
Right, they were too good. They were already in the hopper, all done and everything.
Right.
And what was it? Was it bad audio issues?
Yeah, I think it was. Well, what ended up happening, I think, was the Zoom recorder, which is running right now. I'm going to check it again. Yep, we're running. Which I've been using this thing for. This thing's 15 years old.
Yeah.
But I use it
filter.
Yeah, but I use it a lot, and it's never like just turned off on me. I don't know if see, why is this screen going black too? Oh, that's normal. Never mind. Okay. Sorry, I'm like freaking myself.
Real excited.
I'm like freaking myself out now. So yeah, it just like stopped recording, and we didn't notice until we like got back, kind of thing.
The first time we found this place for real, this is funny. Right here, I'll tell you what, we like somehow I knew like, oh no, we've actually found this, because we had gone out looking for this many times before. My friend Brandon and Corey, and like we had to pull over. I like threw up a few times.
Oh really?
Because I was like, oh no, this thing we've been looking for, we know we're on the right road now, and it's the middle. It's like 2 a.m.
Right.
What are we doing? I got myself so worked up.
I know, right?
You know, I'm no longer worked up about it, but we're also not here at 2 a.m.
Right, we're here like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Which is, some say the opposite of 2 a.m.
It's right. It's as far away from 2 a.m.
as what you get.
It's the not the witching hour. You know what? I'll hold on to that. Just that. But it is. There's potential. We have a severe thunderstorm alert right now, so we have about 40 minutes before that's supposed to be rolling in. But the wind, it's calm here, but we're not far from a lake, and on the lake the wind is just really buffeting.
It's whipping.
When Bond got, I was parked there first. When Bond got there, we were watching a canoe of Deitch children rowing, and they were going backwards.
They were literally, they were rowing forwards, and when we say like they weren't making any progress, like they were practically going backwards. It was really, really comical, and you feel bad for them.
It's choppy out there, is what we're saying.
And you know what? I will give them credit. All wearing life vests.
Yeah.
Which is, glad they're leaving safe. So yeah, so we got excited to come out. We figured if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, why not go to a haunted cemetery?
Right.
Like that's what one does.
There's a minimal risk of tornado, and we're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
I think we're done with the elevation.
I think we're okay. Yeah. Because also I wanted to do video, not only to have another audio version of this, but we've been talking about doing more on-site stuff to put up on the YouTube and everything. So I figured this would be good.
When I lost our library of photos somehow, that it was nice to put, but it's like 3 hikes, and I just keep tweaking your hike video.
Yeah, I think I put up one last week or the week before. I need to go back and because the problem is when I upload them, like they're huge. So they're like 45-minute, hour-long cuts.
I know.
So, yeah, I know. Because you have to render them.
Yeah. But I remember being here when we tried to do the 100th episode, and we walked up in these woods right here. My daughter and my wife were with us. You know what? Let me jump out.
Oh, you got it? Thank you.
Yeah, I got that.
Get you a little closer.
Got some battle damage here.
I know. We will rebuild. Nick is moving a branch out of the road right now for those of you not on YouTube. So this is all part of the adventure. Thank you, sir.
No problem. But as you can see, it's an old road, no winter maintenance. We probably go back about a mile and a half, maybe. Mm-hmm. So we're a good piece from any homes or anything like that, right. But we are nearing the cemetery. So this was a family farm, the Snyders themselves. We don't use the name of this place typically because it has been vandalized a few times. Mm-hmm. This was kind of a place that was spoken about a lot, and it really piqued my interest. I don't know why we thought the best time to go looking for it when we were in high school was in the middle of the night, but that's what we did.
Right. Oh, was it a snake?
Whoa.
No, we're good.
Oh, I was going to go out and go make friends.
Yeah.
But anyhow, but the Snyders, the patriarch of the family was a Conrad Snyder who immigrated with his wife. They came as indentured servants, is my understanding, to Philadelphia from Switzerland. No, we got to go down a little further yet. Anyhow, after his time was sorted out with that, here we are.
There we go.
He came out to Western Pennsylvania. This would have been in the very late 18th century, early 19th century.
Do you want to take that with you? I'll do the.
Okay.
I'll do the Zoom.
Sure.
Cool.
He started a farm, and we're going to put our windows down slightly because there's a lot of stories of people's batteries going dead. Thankfully, no one else is here. Usually there is not, but
sometimes there are. Yeah, we've been here before where there's some folks have been, so.
So anyway, he made his living trapping, and he established a farm out here, and this is the family farm. We can hear the wind above us, but it's pretty calm right here. We're pretty well protected by a good bit of forest.
Make sure to grab my headphones real quick.
Good call. So the farm was somewhere up over this hillside here. I don't know if there's anything that remains of the farm. I imagine there is, but I believe some of that is on private land, so I've never gone over to explore. We are seeing the wind pick up a little more now. And again, we probably got about a half hour before the storm really hits us. So,
check, yep.
All right, how are we sounding?
Sounding good.
All right, good. So when it was vandalized, this stone was put up by some people who had, gone about repairing some of the damages. And so here we have some of the dates, but
Joe Snyder, Jane Snyder, Conrad Snyder, Mary Strain, Snyder, McDouble. Is that MC double or McDouble?
It's MC double.
Okay, so not okay.
Right,
yeah.
Double is not an uncommon name around this area. Yeah, I know a couple doubles myself.
You hear that every once in a while, but it's a very cool last name.
Yeah. So the patriarch is older yet. He had come over. I don't know why he's not on here. I'm guessing because those two main stones
are for him. Yeah.
Him and his wife.
I think everyone here is.
Oh, the stones that are no longer
the
there.
Unmarked, correct. Yeah, I think.
Oh, I see now, yeah. Whose stones have been destroyed by vandals. Yeah. So that was really an awful thing. But in fairness, when I first came here 20-some years ago, Oh, that hurts to say.
Yeah.
When I first came here 20-some years ago,
Yeah.
a lot of these stones were really deteriorated to begin with, so vandals honestly wouldn't have had much of a job.
Right.
But Conrad Snyder himself, the patriarch of the family, was born in 36?
Yeah, 1736.
We don't have this far west a lot of graves that are that old, honestly.
And then Nancy was 1725. So she was even older.
Yeah,
Wow.
a few years his senior.
Good for Conrad.
Yeah. Let's walk over.
Yeah.
So in the stories that I've told about my friends, they were parked over there where we are at. A lot of this growth wasn't here back then. And they came through and they walked over here. They had the headlights pointed at this wall here. And so when they walked over through the gate, as we were going to do, the light cast over the wall and they couldn't see down below them. They knocked over one of these stones accidentally, not realizing it. They shined a lighter on it and they were trying to repair it when they heard, you may have heard my story, the sound of something big coming down, something bigger than a deer, they thought, but it was coming from this hillside up here. And as I said earlier, the old farmhouse is somewhere up there. Now, I do believe their story,
Oh, yeah.
but that is their story.
I think that's from the gate here. There's what looks like a looks like a horseshoe.
It's this piece right here.
That looks like it was held on by rebar. It looks like it was broken and left here. Like not. It looks like an accident. Like it wasn't.
So here are the original graves of some of the family. 89 years in 1866. There he is, Conrad Snyder. This is his grave. There's his wife's.
And then one of the interesting things on this gravestone, Nick, is like the back of that one says AMS, and this one has like what looks like scratch marks.
Well, it's CS for Conrad Snyder. These are the footstones.
Oh, these are footstones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can. Yeah.
Okay, I
That's
see.
what that's about.
Oh, okay, I see. But look at but you do see these marks though, right? Like
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just from vandalization or.
Or it could have been a cleavage point, some cracking.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's been there for
it looks weathered. Yeah, it's not new. Yeah.
more than 150 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
So, anytime we go to cemeteries, this is one of the things that makes me sad.
What does this say? So, weep not for me, departing friends. I must be here till Christendom. That's what's on Conrad Snyder's. It's his epitaph.
Yeah, it's always the child graves that, it's just sad.
Yeah.
This young girl died in 1818, April 11th, 3 months, 19 days old. And again, it's a common sight in older cemeteries, and it just reminds you just how fragile things are. It's just sad.
And that one has some like silk flowers next to it right now. When I've been here before, there's actually been like stuffed animals left on this one in particular, which is like, I don't know.
You know, it's wild to me because, you know, these three graves here, they were born and they died before a lot of things we think of, and I'm not just talking automobiles and computers. I'm talking doorknobs.
Yeah.
Doorknobs. 1818. I mean,
That's early. That's real early.
that's just, yeah. It's more than 200 years ago.
And then I assume these are. Do you think these are graves right here, or do you think these are footstones as well for other other unmarked graves? Maybe it's hard to tell.
My guess is going to be that these were gravestones. The reason being, look at how wide
They're
are.
wide compared to the shorter.
I think footstones were more or less, and I feel like that was a fashion for a time because you don't see them all the time.
Right.
It seems to be indicative of a specific era. but they seem to be pretty standardized. At least in my experience. I am no expert.
Right.
But here it is. This is the place. It is really wild. Just, again, how many different little things have happened coming out here. The last time, what was it the last time? Our audio was really messed up or something?
Yeah. This thing died. The Zoom died. We didn't have anything else. So, again, that was strange because that's never happened before, and it was weird that I didn't notice while we were recording.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly looking down at this thing.
Well, and I don't think you had the headphones with you last
time.
I
didn't.
Was that a precaution?
This time,
of experience?
Yeah, this is more like, okay, now I want to make sure that I can hear this the whole time so that if it stops recording, I'll know right away. So, one of the things I did want to look at over here, too, was, did I tell you about the glove that was back here?
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
This was a more recent story. So, you have to remind me what were you doing out here without me?
It's a great question. I don't remember why. I came here for...
It's still there.
I was taking photos. Yeah, it is still back there. Yeah.
So, you were out here taking photos?
Yeah, I was out here taking photos, just because I was just taking a day, doing some photos, and I saw this back here. And again, the folks who are on YouTube will be able to see this. It is a glove, like a work glove, that has been strung up with fishing wire. It looks like fishing line.
Common monofilament.
Yeah, it looks like just straight monofilament. It's like a dirty, used work glove. I can't tell if there's anything inside it. I hope there's not. But it looks purposeful. And the fact that it's been here at least since the fall. I asked a few people on one of the Discords that I'm on and they agreed that this felt ritualistic. But no one had any idea for what. It doesn't feel bad back here.
No.
It doesn't, and again, for those of you who are not on YouTube, we are right near some sort of earthworks. This right here is man-made. This is, I don't know if this was, plowed at one point or if it was, there are a lot of different little not copper mines. What were they mining back here?
Well, there were a lot of different mines back here. They weren't
copper.
There was a lot of coal.
Coal, I guess, probably. Yeah.
Because remember the furnaces, of course,
surface level. Yeah.
Right. When they created the lake that is only a few hundred yards from us, they sealed off 420 some such mines.
Okay. Well,
the only reason I can remember that is because there's a highway nearby, of course, which has a similar numbered route.
Right. That's a good point. But yeah, so it's not blood covered or anything spooky like that. It's just, but it is odd.
It is odd. I agree.
Yeah. Not saying it's anything nefarious. Just it's odd. But now, like you had mentioned, Nick, we did have lots of stories of people here doing what I would call high school ritualistic magic.
Right.
People dabbling in, hot topic Wicca, I would say. Well, because there are people out there who are into Wicca, and it is it can be a very serious thing.
Right.
But the one time we were here, I remember there was candles on the corners of the cemetery, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I know my friends knocked over something. They did not intend to do that.
Right.
It was just the headlights coming over there, cutting off everything below the wall, walking into the gate and then not being able to see anything and bumping in, probably into one of these, maybe into a footer, but I mean, it was in bad shape already just over the years for it to be.
That's a beehive up there. So that's what's called a swarm trap.
Oh.
So what that is someone probably from one of the groups that I'm in probably got permission to put a trap out here to catch. Basically, those are native bees.
Those are native bees.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, you can see them coming and going too.
Right. It's an active hive. So. I have a meeting next week with one of my groups. I'm going to have to ask somebody about that. Hey, who has because that's the thing. So, especially over in England, graveyard honey is a thing.
Really?
There are people who set up hives in proximity to like large graveyards.
Is that because when they dispose of like old flowers, they throw them off? Like,
yes.
They'll throw them off somewhere there? Because I have seen so many lilies.
Right. Oh, there's right in here. There's lilies.
Well, those are
there and there.
I guess that is.
I guess
those ones are real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
But yeah, graveyard honey is a thing. So I wonder. So I hope that's what someone's doing here. They're just like, you know what? It's not.
This doesn't seem like a prime place for it.
No, but it might just be kind of fun. Right. You know. I mean, this is a good spot for a swarm trap next to the lake.
Because it's accessible. It's by the lake.
Right.
In the woods.
It's a good habitat. Yeah. So.
What's interesting to me is that when you come up here, there's the two obelisks. Well, one and like one third.
Yeah.
And they are kind of menacing at night. And getting back to this though, one of the things I find interesting is that this one, what's broken off here, the rest of it is nowhere around.
Right, which is strange because it would be.
And you can see it's
hundreds of pounds.
Right, it's been broken for some time.
Right.
I forget if maybe I'm trying to remember if this is true or if this is just something my brain is creating, but somewhere in here, if there wasn't that stone, or if that thing that says Snyder on the gate, I don't think that is from the obelisk.
No, I don't think so either.
But this is all so much grown in. Of course, when I first came here, it was also an autumn. That would have been an autumn like aught 2 or aught 3 at the latest.
A while ago.
Sure enough.
But like it is maintained now. Like someone does come back here and cut the grass and everything.
Yeah, if there's any good thing to be said is that the vandalism did bring attention to the location. Right.
It is really nice in that sense. Like people are paying attention to it now.
Yeah, because this township, again, my understanding of the history, and it's been some time since I've looked into it proper, but my understanding is that the majority of the land on which this township is in was land that was purchased by the Snyder family, specifically Conrad Snyder, as a result of his trapping. He was a trapper. And the farm, I don't know how many years the farm was in the family name, but I do know that the family, members of the family, I think one of the sons, maybe two of the sons, were principal in establishing the bar association. I was about to say,
there's something legal.
The county.
So it was the bar. Okay,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the bar association is like the legal congress of the county, not like the publican sort of thing.
Right. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But this whole area just has such a good vibe to it.
It is a lot better than it used to. Again, it used to be really menacing to me, and part of that was because there was so much mystery. The only stories I knew of the place were about its reputation, and to this day, as irrational as it might seem, we crack the windows because there have been multiple stories of people being locked out of their car and the batteries dying and everything. And goodness, if Bond's battery dies here, because we got this storm coming in, at least we'll be able to stay dry. I did bring a bumper chute just in case.
Just in case. No, but I think it's interesting though, with like, you mentioned how like it used to be so menacing and now it feels so nice back here.
Yeah.
I think two things with that. One, I think that a little bit of like maintenance, like checks something in our brain that like says like we're supposed to be here. Like it's okay to be here.
That, daylight.
Daylight helps, daylight absolutely helps.
And also I think spring in the summer months, there is a menace to the summer. But
no, there is. But
when we're out in the dead of winter, when we're out as we've been in the past, or in autumn, like autumn, as we know, is the spooky season. Winter, the nights of the long moon, are spooky seasons. But summer does have a menace.
Oh, it does. No, I completely agree with that. And I think that like for a place like this, part of it too is like the educational element. Like once you know more about the place and once you know some of the story, and like again you put names, because again like especially the stone there that has all the other folks listed on it, that wasn't here whenever we were younger.
No.
And like having like a cemetery can be creepy, but if you're like, oh, this is a cemetery that has Conrad and Jane and Joseph, and like it kind of like humanizes it a little bit, and it's like, because again, a lot of times it's like people aren't scary, it's the unknown that is scary.
Right.
And I think that kind of
echoes
plays
what I
into
said.
it.
Is like the only things I knew about it back then was the reputation that
Right.
it had.
Right. Yeah. No, it is interesting how that can change over time, because I think of places like this that we've been that are just don't have a great vibe, and I wonder, I'm like, oh, well, if I keep coming back and keep learning about it, maybe that'll change.
Well,
you know?
did you say that's not true about this place?
No, see, I think it does have a good vibe now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You said if I keep coming back and learning about it.
Correct. No, yeah, I would agree. I would say this is
familiarity.
I would say this is an example of like a success story in that sense. You know. So.
Glove's still weird.
The glove is weird. I'm glad we got that on video.
I'm amazed it's still there.
Which again makes me feel like it's even more ritualistic.
Amazed might be a strong word, but
amazed, yeah. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, but I'm also not going deeper in the woods to check other things.
No.
You never know.
Years and years ago,
Would we want to walk down the road a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, we can do
just
that.
see if anything catches our eye.
So years and years ago, when I was out here, it was my friend Jared the lumberjack. Speaking of which,
frogs all over the place.
Oh yeah,
3 or 4 of them.
Again, we are not far, even though this does not look like good frog holding water. There goes a little spring keeper. Let's see if we can find one. We are only, like I said, a few hundred yards from a proper lake. It is
like a legit
through
lake.
the trees there, maybe 300 yards.
If that, yeah. And there's wetlands here,
right.
And up there there's wetlands. So.
See if we can sneak up on one of these rivets. Leroy McRivet. Anyway, so so I was in the woods with my friend Christina, and later that evening, well, not even that evening, that afternoon, I had a tick on my stomach, and I always, I'm super casual today because I've just been teaching all day, but I always tuck my shirt in usually. You know, I'm usually wearing a button-up shirt and tucked in, and a little thing got on my stomach. I was upset about it, so I texted her. I'm like, you better check yourself. Jared, the lumberjack, just saying that reminded me, look out for ticks.
Look out for ticks.
So Jared and I were here years ago, again, 20 odd years ago, and it was somewhere around here. We were up on the hillside, not far off the road, like maybe 20 paces or so. And we started climbing the hill, and there were old logs that had been they had been tarred or turpentine or whatever. And it looked like it was part of like a drainage thing but old, real old. And I found a cluster gauge from an old automobile. Now Now it looked exactly, my friend at the time had an old Model T Ford. And it looked exactly like the cluster gauge on his old Ford. So I concluded, must be an old Ford cluster gauge. That may not be accurate, but it was old.
Either way, it was cool.
Yeah, it was.
And so right here,
it had to be somewhere around here.
I think, isn't this where we found that old foundation when we were here for the 100th episode?
We found a foundation?
Yeah, I think right here, I thought.
I have no memory of that.
I'm not hopping back in there, but I think we said that these rocks and everything were, and see how it is over there?
You know what? I'll hop over that way a little.
If you want to, go for it, yeah.
I mean, I've already had one tick
That's true.
this month, so.
It's like just far enough. You're more nimble than me. So Nick did make it, for those of you who are not on the video. But yeah, so what there is there's an old, what looks like house foundation, because like we mentioned, further up on the hill was the farmstead, at least one of them. We think there was a few back here. But with the farmstead, people would have outbuildings and everything, and like at the farmstead down at the Lauderdale Nature Center, like down from the house, there is a big area where it's like, oh, this is where they had all the pigs, you know.
So I'm
it's
going
like,
to say something, and not to interrupt you.
please, yeah.
That is not a foundation, those rocks at
they're
least.
not? Okay.
No. But the area there is definitely leveled out.
Okay.
There could have been something there. I
At
don't
one
know.
point used for something.
But those rocks are not quarried.
Okay. We need to come back here with a metal detector sometime.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, outbuildings, yeah. And all around here, because there's a couple towns that are now largely under lakes, but there are old foundations of old cabins
Yes.
all over this place. And it's really not uncommon to run into those.
And this is also, I think we mentioned this at the time, as I mentioned again, we're in the same park where they filmed, there's some historic cabins that are original and have been restored. This is where they shot scenes for the movie The Pale Blue Eye.
I did not know that.
Yep, that at the McDaniel's Cove.
What's that one about, that movie?
That's Edgar Allan Poe. Not Poe. Hell. Is it Poe? Yeah, it's basically him. The guy is Poe kind of thing.
Oh.
It's fiction. It's not.
Okay. I was going to say.
But it has Christian Bale in it and stuff. But yeah, that was filmed over at, I think, Davis Hollow.
So one thing I point out is this area here, as you can see, there's no hill here. It's pretty flat. And years ago, or maybe it was just because of the time of the year, you could see this is all very flat. And I've often concluded that this would have been fields. Was that thunder? Or
I think it was thunder. It sounded like thunder. At least through my headphones.
Okay. So I've often speculated that this would have been the part of the fields for
one of the
farm.
lower fields for the house.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
Farming in PA is a weird thing because the terrain is so difficult in areas of it. Now we are right now on the Allegheny Piedmont, so it's fairly flat. It's a lot of rolling. If you go north of here towards Lake Erie, it gets really flat, and of course we have a lot of potatoes and grapes. Pennsylvania grows a lot of vineyards up in the lake area. We do a lot of potatoes. But if you go east of Lake Erie along Pennsylvania's northern tier, farming was really hard scrabble. It's much more.
But
thinking about like places like in West Virginia
Yeah.
and whatnot, it's very comparable in many ways.
But some of the ones up there are very, very successful because they have these weird little microclimates. Where if you can specialize, like Tioga County has a ton of farming.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, but
because it's all like tiny packets. That's
exactly.
The other thing.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But the other thing about here specifically is because this is the moraine point. This is one of the southern reaches of the glaciers. And so, like, I know I can't put a toothpick in my yard without hitting a rock. Like, it is just super rocky.
Yeah.
And this area is, well, you can go 50 feet one way or the other here, and you're going to either hit rocks or you're not. It's just interesting. What are you looking at?
It is this kind of like, because this wouldn't have been farmland, I don't think, down here, but it could have been because there's no old growth trees over here. So I wonder if before this road was here, just going with your theory that it was field over here.
Yeah.
I wonder if the field went the whole way to the lake, basically.
It certainly could
Because
have.
this would have been logged.
Well, and again, too, the lake wouldn't have been there.
Right. That's exactly. Yeah. So
The lake wasn't established until the 1970s. Now, obviously, there were streams. There was Muddy Creek and some other bodies of water, but there wasn't the lake what there is now.
the lake proper. Yeah. But this is like just generally, like this area does feel really good, but like especially in the summer, it does get kind of spooky back here because like, again, you look over in these woods, it's dark, you know, like it's the middle of the day, and you could have something that's pretty large, 30 feet on either side of us, and we'd have no idea, you know. So,
well, as we were driving, before we turned the camera on, there was that deer that popped out.
Right, yep.
It was running alongside, and yeah.
And the state record black bear was taken here back in the fall.
Oh.
You know that? Yeah.
I did.
Yep.
I think I did see that. Usually it's about whatever fish they pull out of here.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Well, not out of the woods.
But this whole area has a lot of just like different types of energy to it because it gets recreated and used so often. And that's why I think it's so interesting with... Is there a frog?
Another frog. I was sitting there waiting to see if there was one.
Good day for frogs.
Yeah, man.
We're really lucking out. But again, with a cemetery like this back here, because you have so many people kind of bringing energy to it from a folkloric standpoint, we always talk about that, where regardless if a place is haunted or not, if everyone decides that it's haunted and thinks that for a certain period of time, it, starts to feel a certain way.
We cracked our windows for a reason, right? Because the reality to us is that multiple people have come back here and had to like break a window or call AAA.
Right.
Then have to explain how to get here, why they were back here in the first place.
Right.
So yeah, that does create the reality.
But it is really beautiful at the same time. So that's why I always kind of like tell people when they're getting into like legend tripping and stuff like that. Like I think it's a good thing to do. Like I like legend tripping, but you have to be very careful about it, and you have to have like the right expectations too, I think.
Well, I am going to leave the camera on even as we drive back to see if your dashboard thing comes back on.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because again, I think everybody who's listened knows where I stand on these things. I'm not much on the belief, side of things, but it's just, there's always something weird. I think I told you the very first time, but other than the vomiting, which I disclosed a little bit ago, which I don't think I'd shared before. It was a Ford Explorer we were in.
Oh, was that Corey's? The Eddie Bauer edition.
That
was a great SUV.
I think it came with a vest. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was the first car I knew that had the thing that told you what the exterior temperature was.
Yeah.
It was a hot, muggy night. It was 70 something. Okay. And when we got back in, nothing happened that night. When we got down here, we just spooked each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
But when we got back in and he started it up, it said it was 50 some degrees, which it decidedly was not.
Right.
And it said that all the way till we got back on the old blue highway. And that was just weird. It's
just weird, yeah, exactly. And I think like it's little things like that that just like keep the magic alive.
Well, it certainly is like, it does give one pause. Not because, again, a single incident, but every time just about. The last time you and I were out here together, of course.
And again, it's something dumb, like with the heads-up display on the truck. But I've had the truck for almost 4 years. It's never happened.
Right.
So like, why is it happening now? It's almost something. You're right. That's a good way of putting it. But again, that's why I always tell people when you go out and do these kind of things, you kind of have to just like have the right expectations. And part of it is just like, if you go enough times to these places, weird stuff does start to accumulate. Now, some of that is probably just, percentages,
Sure.
But, it sure makes it fun. So
probably should have gotten your license plate.
That's okay. We'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I'll just take a still shot before.
Yeah. But, right, there we go. Okay, so if you out there have a story you'd like to share, or a place you'd like me and Nick to either research or even better, come hang out at, you can find us on YouTube or Instagram, or at the Ghost Furnace Podcast at gmail.com.